What's up, everybody? My name is Jeremy Jones and I am back with another video. Today I'm talking my weekly sneaker rotation, so stay tuned.
Got a lot of things changing in my life. Hoping one day I'ma get it all right. Brother is engaged, about to start a new life. Yeah, I haven't had a chill day. Really wanna vibe, appreciate the moments. I've been creating, not scrolling. Mom and dad still supporting.
Alright, man, I'm back with another video, man. Before I get too deep into this video, y'all already know what to do. Go and hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. And if you're new, consider subscribing. I made content about sneakers. Alright, so let's dive into today's video. Just like I said in the intro, man, I am back with another weekly sneaker rotation. Now, if you haven't been living under a rock, I started this series at the beginning of the year in 2023, and here we are, and this should be week 19 to the best of my knowledge. And if I'm wrong, feel free to correct the kid down in the comment section, right? Okay, so pretty much I start the series off, or pretty much I start off where I left off, which means I end on a Friday and start on Saturday, so there will be no different than this week. So without further ado, let's just dive right into it. Definitely a busy week for the kid with things changing back from, you know what, I'm starting to be more active and I had to step into the office actually more. So with all that being said, nothing but actually I feel like this was almost a full week where I didn't include the Yeezy slides, but let's just dive right in, right? So right off the rip, right on Saturday, the kid stepped out and none other than the Air Jordan 1 shattered backboard. Now these are the 1.0 guys, right? Okay, if you guys haven't been living under a rock, I recently obtained this shoe like what, at the beginning of the year, sometime around there. So I already did like an unboxing and review on these guys. One of my favorite shoes in my collection. I'm glad I finally like unds this joint and got it laced up. I went with the black laces, even though they come with the white laces as well. I got a fit pick also in the sold out Discord on these guys as well, man. So shameless plug, sign up for the sold out Discord if you haven't done so already. It is free. We share nothing but great sneaker knowledge, and of course we have a lounge and we talk music and all other sorts of things as well, man. So shameless plug. Now this was my Saturday shoe, man. Arguably something I'm looking forward to wearing this year around Halloween time as well. You know, I got other heat for that, but I mean, month of October, I plan to show out, right? Okay, so arguably, man, I know everybody, they've done like a 2.0 and a 3.0 version, but to me, the OGs will always be the 1.0s if you ask the kid. Now, moving right along to Sunday, right? Okay, now the kid pretty much chilled out. I didn't go anywhere, so y'all know what that usually means. I stepped out and none other than boom, right here, the Yeezy slides that I absolutely positively need to wipe down. But anybody who has this shoe knows it is a dirt magnet. I don't care what you do. Granted, mine are old and I've kind of put them like, honestly, you would swear it looks like I played ball in them, but honestly, I just literally just go to the mailbox and I run like quick errands to like 7-Eleven at best, right? Okay, which may have to do after this video. But with all that being said, this was my Sunday shoe. I kind of just lounged around the house, man. And Sunday is that day where I'm gonna like consider like peace and relaxation, man. Just get ready to prepare for the week. And this is what I did it in, none other these Yeezy slides. Super comfortable. If you don't have a pair, I definitely recommend it. And with the great news of, I guess you can say somewhat great news, that Adidas said they will be like releasing the remaining stock of the Yeezys that they have in stock that's already been made. So hopefully we get another round of slides in that rotation, man. So I know everybody could use a fresh pair, myself included. So that is definitely good news. So this was my Sunday shoe. Now, moving right along to Monday, the kid had to step full-blown back in the office, but I know why I wore this shoe. It was a rainy day, man. So, but it doesn't mean you can't be dripped on a rainy day. Now, we've always argued like, what shoe should you wear on a rainy day? And for me, I chose none other than the Concord 11. Now, this is the 2011 pair, the older pair, not the latest one, which was 2018. I chose the Concords, man, because honestly, I'm not saying it's a beater shoe, but it's kind of like, if you have two pairs, that's the point of doubling up. You know what I mean? If you're gonna double up, and this is not really truly a double up. This is just the older version, and I got the newer version. Now, usually what I normally do is sell the older version, but this shoe was not that easy to obtain back in 2011, right? Okay, I don't think I could just let it go. And honestly, it looks like it wants to fall apart, but they're holding up for the most part. And that's the point of this. It's a beater. If that even makes sense, you could say beater shoe with Concord in the same sentence, right? It doesn't sound right. That's why I'm like looking like all kind of crazy, but this is where I wore it in the rain. But mine, I think, is still in great condition. So I know the camera's going to do this a little bit better of justice, but I can definitely tell the difference between, obviously, other than just the 45 and the 23 on the back, which this one's had the 23. Other than that, I can tell the difference just looking at which one's a newer pair and which one's an older pair. But arguably one of my favorite shoes in my collection. Now, this was my Monday shoe. Now, moving right along to Tuesday, right? Okay. I basically had a tattoo appointment, so I had to step out. So on Tuesday, y'all know when I have a tattoo appointment, I step out in none other than the Yeezy 350 V2. Now, this is the blue tint. I think this is the first pair of Yeezys I had copped for retail. I remember copping these joints from Foot Locker, right? Okay. Before they had converted over to the Flex app, and when they were just doing things just like where you actually had to put in a code and you got your head starts and they actually meant something, versus now where it's still just like one big raffling system. Not to take shots at Foot Locker and them, but that Flex app thing, it just haven't been the same since, in my opinion. But this is what I wore on Tuesday. Pretty much I had to go in, I added some new ink on my leg. Y'all know I'm making a leg sleeve, if that even makes sense. So definitely look out for that. I got a tattoo vlog definitely on the way. Always making content. That's the one thing about trying to be consistent. I film so much, really, sometimes I have to just, you have to set it and forget it, man. And that's just how the kid kind of goes. And I can't say use the word forget it because obviously I'm going to use that footage, right? Okay, so definitely look out for the tattoo vlog. So when I do the tattoo vlog, one thing about the guy who does my tattoos, he loves Yeezys. So I don't know if it's just like I know I do it for comfort, but I also do it just to see what get his reaction as well, because I know 9 times out of 10 he's probably going to be in some Yeezys as well. So this was the blue tints that I wore on Tuesday to my tattoo appointment. So moving right along to Wednesday, the kid was back in the office again. Basically, when I say back in the office, I mean back to work, man. I will say this, man. I like to just stay busy, if you guys haven't figured it out. So on Wednesday, the kid stepped out in none other than the PSNY Air Jordan 12. Now, this is the gray pair. I think this is the actual like New York colorway, but don't quote me on that because I know they did several different colorways. The one I really, really want is the burgundy ones, but I cannot find a decent pair in my size. I found one a half size up, but honestly, I feel like my feet they seem like they shrunk just a little bit because with the whole thing shutting down and things opening back up, my whole workout schedule changed. And to be honest, not that I was overweight back in the day, but I toned up way more than like before. Before I was more of a bulkier person. Now I'm kind of more toned, mainly because I added way more cardio to my workout. Probably you guys don't even care about that, but shameless plug, this is what I wore on Wednesday. So with all that being said, because I went on a tangent there and got way off mode, but my true to size is definitely a size 10. I don't do the half size ups anymore, and the ones in my collection that are half size up, I can definitely tell the difference. Still wearable, but I guess if you're like me, the reason I don't want to half size up anymore because one thing I don't like is an overly creased shoe, right? Okay, some shoes crease easily, but sometimes it could just because you're not in the right size, right? Okay, but the shoes, you got to also think comfort. So I know some people do like to have size up. That used to be me back in the day, but now with my feet like shrinking a little bit after adding this new workout plan in, that's what it is. So this is what I wore on Wednesday, man. Arguably one of my favorite shoes in the collection. And the good thing about going back into the office like pretty much every day now, I get to really switch it up and really wear my actual sneakers, what they're meant to be worn for. Yes, I wear my sneakers to work because that's just how the type of environment we're in. Dress code is simple. So, with that, I know one guy, shameless, this is probably talking too much about this one, but I know one guy, he gets the latest Jordans. Like, he's an older guy. He's in the next generation up. I probably should have a conversation with him. He always speaks to me, but I'm probably going to actually talk to him about some of his sneakers. But I will say, he wears them and he beats them. Like, you can tell he wears them for work. But anyway, this was my Wednesday shoe. Now, moving right along to Thursday. Now, I had to grab a oldie. I know they did a new version of this. So on Thursday, the kid stepped out in none other than the Bread 13 guys, right? Okay. Now, this is the older version. I know they did a newer version, but this is the one from 2012, man. Y'all can tell how long I've been like collecting sneakers. But this is the one from 2012. One of my favorite shoes in my collection. And I'll tell you this. If you don't have a pair of 13s, don't sleep on them. Would I pay resale for them? No. But if you see a pair that you actually like for retail, or you see them going below retail, if you're looking for a comfort all day shoe, this one is perfect, man. Not just the Bred, but the 13 in general, man. 13s are super duper comfortable, as well as the 14s, but these 13s are super comfortable, man. One of my favorite shoes in my collection. Y'all know I am a major sucker for red, and this is no different, man. So y'all can tell on the side, if the camera's gonna do this any form of justice, the red is kind of like fading, and you can see I got the heel like bendage here, the little creases in there, but all honestly, when I put my foot in them, you can't really tell, and they still look good. Because overall, man, I will say for the mass majority of my sneakers, I do tend to keep clean. So with that being said, this was my Thursday shoe. Now we're gonna move right along to Friday. You know, the kid had to close out the week with a banger, so I should have a fit pick up in the sold out Discord of this shoe as well. But with no further ado, I'm holding back. Anyway, so for Friday, this is what the kid bust out. The Travis Scott Fragment Low guys, man. One of my favorite shoes in my collection. Don't really wear enough, but I did bust these guys out, man. The weather was right. Everything is just perfect. No rain, which I think is probably gonna rain the next day. So I definitely want to make sure I wear my shoes. At the end of the day, man, wear your shoes. So this was my Friday sneaker, and arguably one of my favorite shoes in my collection. And I could probably say that about majority of my sneaker collection now, because y'all know I did some condensing. You know, I used to have a whole bunch of shoes, but now I got rid of some, and honestly now, man, I'm just grabbing shoes that I know I absolutely positively are gonna like love. So pretty much this is what I closed out the week with. Fragment Travis Scott guys, man. I've even worn these joints to the barbershop, but no hair on them, and I feel like they're not a huge dirt magnet, because what helps with this is that aging sole around the bottom really helps with that. So this was my Friday sneaker, man. So pretty much this was a better weekly sneaker rotation than the previous ones, because I didn't have to say Yeezy Slide or the Onyx. In fact, I didn't put my Onyx on at all this week at all, man. So I'm kind of glad to say that. So hopefully these things are getting better now that things are kind of changing and everything is kind of going back to quote unquote normal, right? Okay, so this pretty much concludes my weekly sneaker rotation. What do you guys think? Y'all sign off in the comment section and let me know what you wore throughout the week as well, man, because I definitely want to know what you guys be putting in rotation. And of course, share that fit pick in the sold out Discord if you haven't done so, man. And of course, if you haven't signed up for the sold out Discord, go ahead, it's free. But with all that being said, man, I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of this thing and stop rambling, man. Y'all be sure to hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. And if you're new, consider subscribing. I made content about sneakers. Again, my name is Jeremy Jones, and thank you for watching, and I'm out.
I figure out we go, you figure out